SpongeBob SquarePants Mysteries Find a Missing Star. Chapter 10. Our investigation was going okay. Veronica at Goofy Goobers had given us a solid lead. Patrick had been planning to go to Squidward's house. It was an address I knew well, since I could see it from my bedroom window. But why had Patrick gone there? What did he do while he was inside? I needed answers, and I needed them fast. The longer Patrick went missing, the more I worried. As SpongeBob and Squidward walked up the wooden steps leading to Squidward's front door, SpongeBob looked down and noticed something. "Look, Squidward!" he cried excited. "A clue!" He pointed to round pink drops on the steps. He touched one of them and licked his finger. Ice cream! Veronica Lakefish said Patrick ordered an ice cream cone to go. It must have dripped on your front steps.
Wonderful, Squidward said sarcastically. Remind me to make Patrick clean my steps once we find him. SpongeBob hurried towards Squidward's front door, but Squidward pushed ahead of him. It was still his house, and he was going in first. The first thing he spotted was in the kitchen. Several of Squidward's gourmet food items were out on the counter instead of in the cabinets and the refrigerator. My smoked sea okra! My charred lard! My canned bread! He cried, picking up the items and putting them back where they belonged. What are they doing out on the counter? Patrick must have taken them out and left them there.
Maybe he was hungry, SpongeBob suggested.
He had just eaten an ice cream sundae and an ice cream cone, Squidward said.
Looks like most of your fancy grub didn't appeal to him, SpongeBob observed, picking up a can of bread. He took it out, but he didn't open it, just left it on the counter.
Sifting through a pile of empty wrappers and containers, he concluded,
Patrick only ate your gourmet cookies, candies, brownies, cakes, pies, custards, and parfaits.
Not my parfaits! Squidward groaned. Then SpongeBob thought of something.
Why didn't you notice this stuff last night, Squidward? He asked. Or this morning when you got up?
As he set the canned bread back on its shelf in the cabinet, Squidward thought about this. It was actually a pretty good question. Then he remembered. Yesterday after work, I went straight to my modern dance class and stayed there all evening working on my new dance. There's a tricky little sidekick I have to do with my fourth leg. He demonstrated, not very well, accidentally knocking over a potted plant. When I got home, you were messing around outside.
I wasn't messing around, Squidward. I was looking for Patrick,
SpongeBob reminded him.
Remember?
Right, sure, Squidward said. When I went inside, I was so exhausted from a long day of work and a hard evening of dance class that I just fell right into bed and went to sleep. I didn't even turn the lights on. This morning I slept through my alarm. When I finally woke up, I realized I was going to be late to work, so I jumped up and ran straight to the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob nodded.
Okay, your story checks out.
Hey, Squidward said annoyed. I'm not a suspect here. You don't have to check out my story.
Sorry, partner,
SpongeBob said, picking up a jar of gourmet algae biscuits.
At this stage in the investigation, everyone's a suspect.
He set down the jar.
What do you say we head upstairs?
When they got up to Squidward's bedroom, Squidward was outraged. Oh, look at this! My clothes! Flung everywhere! And stretched out! Apparently Patrick doesn't just come into my house while I'm at work and eat my food. He also tries on my clothes! Squidward held up a brown short-sleeved shirt. It was so stretched out it looked like as though it could hold 3 Squidwards.
That's not all he does,
SpongeBob said.
Look at this!
He pointed to a painting sitting on an easel. It was a picture of Patrick, and it was displayed right next to one of Squidward's self-portraits.
Apparently, Patrick used your paints and brushes to paint a picture of himself.
He leaned in to get a closer look.
find a good likeness.
How do you know Patrick painted it? Squidward pointed out. Maybe he just posed for it.
No, he painted it all right.
SpongeBob said, peering at the lower right corner of the portrait.
It's signed.
Sure enough, the signature read Patrick in drippy letters.
Besides, I recognize Patrick's style anywhere.
Oh! Squidward growled, vibrating with anger.
What's the matter, Squidward?
SpongeBob asked. What's the matter? Patrick dripped ice cream on my stairs, broke into my house, ate my food, tried on my clothes, and used my art supplies. At least he didn't play my clarinet. SpongeBob held up the clarinet. It was covered in gourmet dessert crumbs and stains.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he did.
Snatching his beloved instrument out of SpongeBob's hand, Squidward frantically searched for a cloth to wipe off all the bits of food. When I get my hands on Patrick, he muttered. Stay tuned for Chapter 11, coming up soon.